Hey everyone, welcome back to the boosnbays podcast. I'm your host Jace. This is Madison, and we're throwing it back to paranormal this time. What we got, Madison?
The Great Amherst Mystery.
Ooh, okay. I've never heard about this.
I haven't either.
What is it? It's not the Amherst house. Amityville house. That's what.
Yeah.
The popular.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's. I feel like it's Amherst. Amherst.
Is that in Boston?
Doesn't sound correct. It's in Nova Scotia.
Okay.
This happened in like the 1800s.
Wait, do you know where Nova Scotia?
I don't even think that has any relevancy to the story.
I just want to know.
Hand.
See if the geography got a little bit better.
Is it Canada or by Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
By like Maine.
I was
Canada.
like,
okay,
oh,
nice.
Thank God.
All right. What?
No, that's never mind.
We'll stop it right there. We'll stop it right there.
Stop on that thought process.
Okay.
So basically, The Great Amherst Mystery was the title of the book by Walter Hubble, describing this family's experience with the poltergeist from June to August of 1879.
1879. That's all.
Just throwing it back. Throwing it way back.
I thought you were going to say like 2005.
No. 1800s.
Well, you know how we feel about these old hauntings.
Yeah, but
these people are crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like we've also talked about that maybe that means that they have a little bit more truth to them.
Why?
Because there's something really influencing them to like make things up.
I believe the ones where it's like the Sally House where it happened in like the 90s or like
okay.
What's the one that we just did? The bar?
Oh, Bobby Mackey's.
Bobby Mackey's, like that happened pretty recently, you know? So like for me at least, like if it happened more recently, you know it's like good, I guess.
Okay. I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Loud and clear. Okay.
Because this guy, the guy that wrote about it, he basically like disproves this kind of stuff. His whole shtick is that he like can spot like the tomfoolery.
So he's like a skeptic.
In like a magician's trick, whatever, and like writes about it. He has a background in professional acting, so he believed that he was going to go to this family's house and basically be like, hey, you're full of shit. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. You don't know what you're talking about. Fortunately, he was proved wrong on that.
Mm-hmm. Did you say fortunately or unfortunately?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess it depends if you're as popular or not. But a little bit of a backstory. On the afternoon of August 28th, 1878, Esther Cox went on a date with Bob McNeil. It was like a local guy. He was kind of sketchy. Like a lot of the locals after the fact said that he used to skin cats alive.
That's more than a little sketchy.
Yeah. Not the best guy.
I wonder what you do on dates back in the 1800s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do? Here, you just go to like...
You go to a saloon, like a bar. People have been getting drinks, I guess, for quite some time.
Oh, okay.
Or like...
You have so much to do now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You could get, like I don't know.
Like, I'm wondering, like, back in the day, did people go to the beach for, like, a date?
I was literally just thinking, like, do they have, like, a pool, like, a lake situation, or...
When were pools invented? I feel like a long time ago, though.
A really long time ago. People had to have figured... I mean, because it's like a big lake that you made.
But, like, I know they, like, invented, like, bathhouses for, like, the Greeks and, like, Egyptians and everything, but, like, is that when they also did, like, recreational, just, like, pools? You know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of crazy. Like, that's not a thought I've ever had in my 24 years of life.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. What about hot tubs?
Oh, they've definitely had hot tubs.
Because hot tubs, I feel like you could definitely make a hot tub.
But it wasn't like you're like flip a switch. It was like, oh, I'm gonna put some coals under this, you know?
That seems a little intense.
Like I'm gonna like light a fire, you know?
So gotta get it going. Yeah. Either way, I don't think. Well, this next part is not what typical, ideally, people in the 1800s did on a date.
Okay.
But Bob suddenly just like pulled over and pulled a revolver on Esther and told her, hey, get out of the car. And she was terrified and was like, no, if you take me out of this car, I'm going to die. That pissed him off.
Why was she going to die if she got kicked out of the car?
Because he had a revolver stuck to her head, pointing at her.
But wait,
so
no, what?
Her, like he was trying to get her like out of the car with him with the revolver.
Oh.
No, he wasn't just like tug and roll, sweetie.
No, I literally thought he just like pulled over and was like, "Get out of the car," and she was like, "No." I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, "What?"
He said, "I'm out of this fucking car."
I'm like, "Why are you staying? Like, how are you gonna?"
Right? No.
No. Okay, he wanted to get out of the car with her.
Right.
Gun to her head. Okay.
In the wagon.
In the wagon, the G wagon, if you will. Okay.
But luckily there was like a wagon they heard in the distance, so he got kind of spooked, and
it was just crazy because they didn't have cars at this point.
Right. So they were basically in a horse buggy. Literally a horse and buggy that he was just sitting in, or like a buggy.
That's crazy.
And was just like, damn, all right, fine.
That's crazy.
Took her home. Within a month of her coming home, basically everything went to shit. Like, she just had the worst luck ever, like, since then. So several ghosts, like, came to fruition and in the house. The chief ghost they called Bob.
Chief ghost.
Because the guy Bob McNeil that attacked her, he like fled the town and he was like never heard from again. Okay. And then within a month, all of a sudden, the chief ghost, somehow they figured out that he liked or being called Bob, or he was overcome with the spirit of Bob McNeil, is what they think, because he was acting like exactly like him. Okay. So Hubble, the one that wrote this book, or I guess wrote it on the family and studied them, his thought process with that is that there was a demon inhabiting Bob McNeil, and then when he made contact with Esther, the demon followed her home.
Yeah, it was her demons. Her demons all came out. Mm-hmm. That's what they talk about in the songs now and everything.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately. Yeah. That's what Drake
Wait, you say fortunately
about.
Or unfortunately?
Unfortunately,
I'm just kidding. You said Drake talks about that?
I hate Drake, but yes.
All right, that's a whole different podcast.
Drake,
Nope.
Okay, fine.
That's a voice note at 3 a.m. right there.
I was gonna say we should do like a
whole different thing. Nope. You're gonna get upset if we do that.
I don't know a lot of.
Because Drake is number one for me.
Okay. I have a theory about Drake, and everyone can take this as they will, but it's correct. People whose favorite rappers are Drake,
I heard about this,
are in love with their best friend's girlfriends. So
I think Drake just he's literally the best rapper. I think that's so I think that's so objective too. Like the amount of like influence he's had on like the music.
You are actually.
No, I'm not even joking. People debate like MJ. People debate like MJ, LeBron, whatever. I literally think Drake is the best rapper. Like, even if you love him or hate him.
Of all time?
Yes, I genuinely believe that.
You actually have me gagged. That's crazy.
Who do you think? You gonna say Eminem?
I would say actually I don't even know, but not fucking Drake.
Why not Drake? I think here's the thing. Everyone knows his songs. If you were to say like, oh, Kendrick's the GOAT, it's like, okay. But like, I can't name like a Kendrick album.
I cannot name any new Drake songs.
Well, like, but you know, literally like Take Care, like anything like that. You know his whole.
But that.
Have you ever seen this It's Too Late album? Like, even if you don't know the name of the song, you know that song because it's been played so much.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I will play you so many Drake songs and you're gonna be like, oh, I've heard that before.
I've heard that before Views, but that's because I listen. Like, I also know all of the Kanye West albums and all of the Lil Wayne albums during that time. That's just because that's what I listened to. That doesn't mean that. Because after I stopped listening to that, I literally have not heard of another song by him. Could not put the head. Could not think of another song.
I think you have heard other songs. You just don't know the name of them, or you don't know that it's Drake.
Unfortunately, no.
I strongly believe that.
Okay.
It also doesn't help that you're like 35 years old too, so you're in like a different generational era.
But he's older than me, and I watched him on Degrassi. Want to talk about throwback? I watched him on Degrassi. I knew him as Jimmy. I knew him as Aubrey. So do not even come to me. I knew Drake before you knew Drake. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
So.
That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That is a whole.
If you guys like that little snippet, let us know. We'll do a whole...
we'll do an expansion piece on it.
Oh, man. If you want to see us actually fight, you know.
Fist fight. So, Esther...
I forgot what we were talking about.
I know. Esther lived in the house with her sister Olive, Olive's husband, Daniel.
Who names their kid Olive?
No, I know. 2 sons, Willie and George, Jenny, her sister, John, her brother, and then John, Daniel's brother.
Well, that's a packed house.
Full house. Yeah. They got a full house. The year of the haunt, and like all, I guess the amount of people matters, because like a lot of times the main thing that the person, like the ghost entity, was doing was setting a ton of fires to the house, and like all like 9 of them would be present, and there would be random fires that would pop up in the house, disembodied voices, objects disappearing and then reappearing across the room. And like,
when was this? Was this like 1870s still, or is this like...
Yeah, this is like in the 1870s.
Okay.
And like, I have a quote from...
all right.
Hear
thee.
Her sister, after one of the attacks, her sister Esther said...
This bitch lit. What'd she say?
Her short hair almost standing on end, her face blood red, and her eyes looking as if they would start from their sockets, while her hands were grasping the back of a chair so tightly that her fingernails sank into the soft wood. And then Esther's account of that was that she was so swollen, she felt like she would burst, and her skin had become incredibly hot. Like, after one of the encounters, like, basically she was bugging out, and her sister said, basically, retweet, I can account for that.
That sounds like anxiety.
So... funny you mentioned that. Of course, they've been dogging women since the beginning of time. Yeah. So they told her diagnosis was nervous excitement.
Yo, that's crazy.
And just like a man, of course, she would point that out. That's fine.
That's crazy. That's so funny.
That is really fun. I don't know how you got that.
Rip to everyone's ears on that, but no, that was kind of crazy.
But they were starting to get a little worried about old girl, because they were like, I literally don't know what to do with her. I'm going to be so honest. So they gave her at one point like a bromide of potassium.
What? What'd you say?
Bromide?
Bromine?
Yeah, of potassium.
What do you got in your notes over there?
I think it's like morphine. It's basically a bunch of like
chemicals.
Narcotics.
Oh, okay.
And a pint of brandy, and because of the ghosts surrounding her and stuff, she basically had no effects. Like, she was still bugging out. Like, she wasn't drugged, she wasn't woozy, she was like alert. And they were like, hey, that should have taken down a small horse. And she was fine.
Maybe she has insomnia.
Maybe.
That's what she...
That's the conspiracy theory. So December of that year, Esther was diagnosed with diphtheria, and then she was put in the hospital, and there was no activity at the house.
So she's the problem.
Yeah, basically at that point, the family started figuring out, like, damn, we got to get this bitch out of the house. So they ship her off to this guy John White's farm, and they were like, hey, the ghost actually came to her and the family, because as soon as she came back, there's a bunch of small fires everywhere, and the ghost said, if you don't leave this night, I'm going to set fire to the loft and to your whole family. And the family was like, yeah, you got to go. So kicked her out to the side to John White's house, to his farm.
John White just took her in like that?
Yeah, because he thought that he thought he was doing like a good thing, basically, and was just kind of like, oh, I feel like I could fix. Basically, I could fix him.
Bro, I kicked this girl to the curb.
And
did he know? Oh, he knew.
No, he did know.
He knew. Okay.
He was proven to be a dumbass because fire started at his farm, and he was like, damn, can't be having this. Let me try taking your ass to work with me to see if that helps. It didn't. It got so bad to the point where at one point his son was just standing there with a knife in his hand. The knife flew out of his hand, stabbed Esther in the back twice.
Levitating knife just...
Yeah. Just... I'd be so pissed. Because who do you fight? No one there. The person that just happened to be unlucky to hold it out, you know?
See, that's just something I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, Sally House or Bobby Mackey's or something like that. I feel like that doesn't happen You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But then, like, the only reason I'm, like, wishy-washy is because I physically I can't comprehend, like, something like that happening. Like a levitating knife just, like, going in, coming out, and then going back in. It sounds like
fake.
Exactly. You know? So you wonder, like, oh, how much of this is, like, telephone kind of thing? Where it's like, maybe it did happen.
He wrote the book because he was there.
Maybe he's trying to get clickbait views.
Could you imagine? He's trying to get that HelloFresh sponsorship.
No, exactly. But, like, what I'm saying is, like, I can believe that, like, someone stabbed her twice.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't believe, like...
that it was air.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, I'm, like, throughout the years, like, even just, like, random stories like this, like, how much of it is just, like, telephone and, like, exaggerated to kind of get, like, a better, like, scare from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
They're like, oh, she levitated. Nah, she just jumped. Like...
nah, she's just piss poor luck, I guess.
Yeah, like... I don't know. That's the skeptic in me. Remember I said I was like an 8 or whatever? Yeah, that's 2 points.
That's what that is. So basically, she tried doing everything to shake this demon, moved a couple houses, everywhere she went. It was same thing, like the disembodied voices, the little fires that are starting, like throwing, like just a bunch of nonsense, basically. So then in August of 1979, Hubble saw...
1979? Oh, wait.
1879.
Wait,
sorry.
You have 1979.
Yeah, I meant 1879 because we're in the 1870s. 1870s. It's been a long time.
All right, guys, if you want to hear me do a story time next time.
But basically, he saw her for the last time after he was like, hey, basically, he's like, hey, there's no helping you.
What do you have an 8?
Stop looking at my notes. Basically, he was like, hey, I believe you. I've looked for every trick in the book. You just have really piss poor luck in a demon. Best of luck to you. And he left her. So then he wrote to her family a little bit later, and just to kind of like check in, and she found out that she was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to 4 months in prison for arson.
Nice.
Because they tried just pinning like a big fire on her, and they were like, I think you're just making it up and you're the one setting fires.
Imagine being her cellmate. Oof.
No, really.
Getting
like,
caught on fire in the middle of the night.
That's crazy.
But I think that's like the safest place for low-key is a prison.
Well, do you think that that's not
being misogynistic right there? But...
Well, do you think... Well, she ended up being released, like, basically on good behavior for a month.
What a cop-out.
So... And then Hubble basically was like, yeah, I 100% believe that this is this happened and this is the poltergeist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really say that there were any, like, oddly enough, there were no, like, conspiracy theories or anything surrounding it that, like, because, like, when I read that, my first thought was, like, oh, so, like, do they think that she's just been, like, pretending to be the ghost and, like, setting fire to people's houses?
Yeah, maybe she just really like fire.
I was like, oh, does, like, nobody believe it because of the, like, story? You know?
I mean, that's a possibility. There's a part of me that's like, maybe she just likes fire, you know? And she just wanted to set people on fire. You know, like...
Maybe she's Lava Girl.
I wouldn't put it past her. That's more believable than... I'm just kidding. No, but, like, I want to know also, like, how do you... Like, what she did to kind of get this ghost, you know, or this demon onto her.
Yeah, that's, too. Like...
That's, like, my biggest thing.
It's kind of like one of... That's why it's, like, that... Because they think that the ghost reminded everybody of Bob McNeil.
Yeah.
That, like... Do you think it was one of those that his demon just kind of, like, latched on? Because she was, like, she went on a date with him and she was just, like, in proximity. How do you think demons, like...
Because don't you have to invite them?
I don't know.
And, like, The Conjuring, because the
demons don't... No, because the demons, when they, like, transfer people, I noticed it's, like... It's always that they do a spell to, like, expel them out of one person, and then what ends up happening is they either, like... Away. It ends up going, oh, and then goes flying into somebody, and then... They're like, oh, good thing we got rid of it. And then you find out, like, 2 weeks later that another person has it. So, okay. I feel like it has to be, like, I don't think you have to be in the demon, because nobody would invite a demon in.
Well, because that one, like, in the last Conjuring movie, it was in that little boy. And then the bro's like, nah, get out of him, come into me. And the demon said, all right, bet.
Yeah, but that's because he's a willing host. I think that...
But, like, why wouldn't you just stay in the little boy? Like, I feel like that'd be a way easier.
Because if someone's willing and they're not fighting against him,
but like,
they can do whatever he wants.
First off, it's a little kid. I'm pretty sure a demon can overtake a little kid.
Yeah,
First off. Like, second off, no one's going to say no to a little kid. Like, if you needed to get in somewhere and, like, haunt something.
Of, like...
Kid's smaller, so he can get into, like, little crawl spaces if he needs to.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like it's... No.
Like a little kid murders someone, they're going to be like, oh, haha.
Little kid murderers freak me out. Like, little kid ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like... I guess you can invite them in, but I feel like most demon possession is just kind of like... I feel like they find... not willing targets, but weak targets.
Like, because, weak-minded people?
I don't even want to say that, but just, like, maybe they're not super sure of themselves. I think it was one of the Conjuring movies. Was it that one with the two brothers? That, like, but I don't think he was trying to save it. The older brother wanted to be picked by the demon children. This might be sinister. Anyway... wanted to be picked by the demon children, and the little brother was picked instead.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know if it's just because they feel like he's weaker than like the older brother, or like what the vibe is, but like I don't know if that's it, or like maybe they latched onto her because she was. Maybe they have that. What if the demon eventually possessed her, and that's why she set the fires?
That's what I'm thinking.
So you think that like it followed her around,
I think
and
so.
then popped out at the end.
I just, like, the thing that I'm having, like, a hard time understanding is, like, why a demon or, like, why a ghost picks a certain person. Like, I guess it could be for, like, you know, sentimental reasons, like, you know, they did go on the date and everything. Or, like, maybe it was, like, a parent or, like, a loved one or whatever. But it's, like, I don't know, like, how, you know, how that kind of works. Like, what makes a demon be like, you're it.
You're an ideal candidate.
Yeah. I'm hoping, like, when I die and I become a ghost, if I become a ghost, because we did talk about that too, but I don't know, it gives them, they're like, hey, who do you want to haunt? And I'm like, give me Madison.
You would be the worst ghost, like annoying, like you would be the type, because you would take it too far. You would be the type
I would
that would like put on the mirror like, LOL, what if I cut your brakes? And there was like, JK.
Guess you'll find out.
Yeah, I know, literally, like, maybe. Like, what the fuck?
Guess it's time to go to work now.
You know? No, I know. So, I feel like if I was a ghost...
I feel like if you're...
I would haunt some people.
I feel like if you were a ghost and you haunted me, you'd be like, you write on my mirror or whatever, just made your coffee, have a great day at work, oh, don't forget your lunch money either.
Don't forget. I would be like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I would be like
just took Kay out.
No, literally, just took Kay out. I'd be
She's
like baking people cookies and being like, hey, left you some fresh baked cookie. I'd be like a nice ghost with the house. I'd be like, hey, just got your kids ready for school. They're at the bus stop.
You know, I'm surprised like a demon hasn't
gotten me?
No. Well,
I'm gonna be honest, you're pretty dumb.
No, but like, see, okay, hypothetically, if I was a demon, what I would do is I'd come across as a nice-ass ghost.
Yeah.
And then, like, once I get that trust, it's over.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be making cookies for them, whatever. Not doing much. And then once they trust me and everything, they're like, wow, we got, like, look at this party trick. They start bringing their friends over. I'm lighting the house on fire.
So you're like a menacing ghost?
Medicine ghost.
Menacing?
Oh, menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're killing multiple birds with one stone kind of thing.
It seems like you're just trapping the birds and setting them on fire is actually what it seems.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I were to be a demon, like, you know.
You said, fuck it, I could.
If you really want to kill people that bad, why don't you just do it like that? Gain their trust. Have them invite their friends over. Be like, hey, I don't know, I'll make some levitate for you guys.
I fear this podcast will be used in court.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Digital footprint is loud right now.
Real. right now.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy, actually.
But thank you guys so much for listening to. Oh, thank you guys so much for. No, exactly. Thank you guys so much for listening to this. Make sure to subscribe everywhere you listen to podcasts, and be safe from any ghosts in your life, I guess. Because Jace is sending them after you guys. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.